give it to animals, within 2 weeks, you start seeing changes on their bodies. You start seeing them building fat. Still early morning, so if allow the animals to go and graze, they will come back and then we'll feed them our mixtures. We are trying to incorporate a semi-intensive system. They go out to browse as goats like to do, and then during the midday or during the mid-mornings, they will come back. They will come back themselves, and then they will come and eat what we have here. And what we have here now, you guys are aware that 2 days ago we harvested the Sunn Hemp, and the Sunn Hemp is, we are trying to feed it to them as a hay, a dried hay. We cut them at the field and then they are left there to dry up. Unfortunately, yesterday we had some rains and we didn't have enough sunlight yesterday, so I'm not so certain how it's going to be looking now. So I'm going to the field to go and check that out. If it is dried, we'll bale them, and I will show you how we actually do our baling over here, and then we'll transport it to the penury, start feeding to them. After they come back from browsing, we feed that in addition to them to increase the nutrients that they would be able to pick up from the bush. But allow me to talk to you about some of the stuffs that you need to know about our Sunn Hemp. The Sunn Hemp is a legume. It is not a grass, it's a legume. It's just like our legumes that we have, alfalfa, beans or cowpea, in that sort. It is more nitrogen protein based. It is a good crop that you can use it to feed your animals. The crop or the plant is not so much of a perennial. It's supposed to be a perennial, but it's not so much of a perennial. But it has a regenerative properties, which means that if you cut it well, it will regrow till it is ready to die, then you replant. That's how the crop is. And you can bale it, you can dry it and bale it and keep it down for a very long time. It can even last up to 10 years if you are drying it well. And you can store it properly. And you don't have to feed it solely to them. If you are doing an intensive system, then you can feed it solely to them. But if you are doing a semi-intensive where they go out and take a walk and all those stuff, you can actually let them go and come, and then they will enjoy what you have for them. Usually, we do that during the mid-mornings and then late nights when they come back from browsing. They eat. Other forages you can attach to it. You can feed it to pigs, goats, cattle, rabbits. You can feed it to any animal that eats leaves. Any ruminant can enjoy it, and it is very beneficial. If you give it to animals, within 2 weeks you start seeing changes on their bodies. You start seeing them building fat. That's how the crop is. It's a quick action crop. That's why we are now pushing for it. Look, I have been scammed several times, right? We do ship in our own seeds. We have an agency that ships in our seeds for us. So our forage seeds, for those who know my company, we do raise seedlings. We never sell seeds. We do raise seedlings for farmers. So farmers and animal farmers and crop farmers, we raise seedlings for them. And so we ship in our own seeds. Now, there was this company, I'll talk about them in a specific video, that sells seeds that doesn't germinate. I've tried them a couple of times, 4 times actually, just to confirm that it works, but it doesn't. A lot of farmers have actually been scammed when it comes to forages. We are trying our best to design something that would fit your budget, and at the same time it's going to do the work that we need it to do. You cannot see so much of me pushing out the seeds. It's because we have to get it right. We don't just have to sell, because if I have to sell, I have pressure from you guys to give out the seeds, but that is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the cost efficiency and then the effectiveness of how to raise these crops. These crops, or should I say the Sunn Hemp itself, it is a drought tolerant crop, which means that if there is no rains, it will still grow. It might not get as big as it will get when it has a little bit of water, but it would grow still. You would be able to harvest it still. And it doesn't like so much water. If your soil is more clayey and it retains water a lot, this crop would not really do so well. You'd have to cut it early to prevent it taking too much water. If it takes too much water, the color of the crop changes, then you know the nutrition is coming down. It will not die, but the crop will not really do much for you. If your soil preparation is on point, you would really enjoy this crop, and you don't really have to do anything to it after planting. It strips out the weeds itself. Maybe the first month of its life or the first 2 weeks of its life, you make sure that there is no weed around it. So if there are weeds, you clear. And after that, when it goes, it will constrict every weed that is around it. You don't have weed growing in there. It's always neat and clean, as you see in my videos. That's how it goes. And you can graze your animals, which means you can fence your land, plant the Sunn Hemp in there and allow your animals to graze. But usually we want to control the grazing so that you don't damage the crop. So at most an hour for a day, grazing would not be so bad for the crop, allowing the crop to regenerate more leaves so that they can graze more. If you want to do this principle, I would suggest that you add some grasses. You plant some grasses in between the crop. It's either you are planting Hyper Sudan grass, which I'm going to show you, or you can plant your elephant's grass or brachiaria grass, which we have. We have all those things. You can plant them, and they would incorporate with the Sunn Hemp to do well for you. You don't have to be cutting them. They can graze them. Although once in a while you need to feed hay to your animals, because animals that depend fully on greens have weak stomachs. They usually run. All animals, rabbits, goats, sheep, pigs, they all have that problem. Once in a while you feed them hay and then they are good to go. Sunn Hemp has energy and protein, which is all that an animal needs. The vitamins and other stuffs they will get from browsing. You can also give them salt licks, which contains the vitamins. You can make your own salt lick. If you don't really know how to make your own salt lick, I'll show you how to make salt lick. Just get your concentrations of the vitamins and other minerals, and then you salt it just to reduce their intake, control their intake. You salt it. So I will show you how to do your licks, and these can help you as an animal farmer go forward. I've been criticized a lot because of the videos I do to help you. Obviously, I'm destroying somebody else's business, but really, that's not the focus. The focus is, how are we all going to make money, right? How are we all going to enjoy what we have? Why would we have to spend so much to get the food that we eat? It's because we don't look at that bit of it. Whilst I'm here, I'll keep showing you these things to help you manage your farms and grow your farms well. My name is Veggie Father. If you don't know me, my channel is always open. You can talk to me, we can discuss. During the weekdays, you can WhatsApp me and I'll always respond to you. Weekends, my phone line is open. You can call me and then we'll talk. You just have to text me first so that I know who I'm talking to. I usually have a lot of calls coming in when I open during the weekend. So if you don't reach me, please just text me and I'll give you a time that you call. It will be easier for you. Have a nice day and take care of yourself. Once again, it's Veggie Father.